Sweet,
Welcome back to the channel, live from the past, streaming on Twitch
How
to
you
see this
doing?
live. Apparently we're watching the hidden cost of long playtimes in modern gaming by Circle
Modern
TOONS.
gaming. EA Sports. It's in the poop, dude.
There's two different versions of long playtimes in modern gaming. The ones that are just earned because it's a vast world that's interesting, like, you know, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. I would think of other games, but right now I can't because that's what I'm playing right now. But there's other games that are pretty large modern games that deserve to be long. And then there's games that are long because they're padding. And it's awful. There's nothing worse than padding and or tutorials. I don't know where they're going with this, but that's my thought on it.
Tutorials are pretty fucking long tutorials.
Any tutorials.
Pretty
Just
ass.
the game should be good enough that as I play it, I'll figure out what to do. But yeah. Any long play times?
Oh
I mean, we both like Fallout. Those are long
I was
play
gonna say,
times. Skyrim.
I make them long play. Well, they're all.
Most of these games are 20 to 30-hour games if you played them linear. But there's just
It really
a lot
all
to do.
depends.
Let's see where they go.
Like,
with it.
Right now, ask yourself, how many games do you currently have that are halfway finished that you tell yourself, yeah, I'll get back to that, knowing fully well you won't? Or even worse, games that you'd love to play but have been gathering dust because you literally don't have the time to play them at all?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot.
pause. There are a lot of games that I have not finished, however.
It's usually just because they're not a good game.
Yeah, if they're good enough, like Fallout, bro. I got 3,500 hours on New Vegas, dude.
I've got 315 plus hours on Breath of the Wild, okay? Over three, actually it might be 400 hours. I'm gonna grab and check. It's right here, my switches.
I have got thousands of hours logged into a lot of games that I love, dude.
Counter-Strike back in the day was probably several thousand for me. So it's just, if the game's good enough, I will beat it eventually. That's literally all it is. The game just has to be good enough.
It just, I am on 100%.
Just most of these games just aren't good enough to beat. They're like fun, but they're not. So I have 315 hours on this version of Breath of the Wild, but I also had at least 80 hours on the Wii U version. Tears of the Kingdom, which has only just come out, I'm already 40 hours in. And I've beaten one of the 4 major dungeons. I've just been playing. I haven't even tried to play the main quest. I'm 40 hours in.
Good grief.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll end up another several hundred hours into that one as well.
Didn't want to know.
And then they're gonna release DLC for Tears of the Kingdom probably, and then it's gonna be another 200 hours on that. But anyway,
it all just depends on the game.
I think we both
dude.
agree that if the game's worth it, you'll beat it.
You stick around. I've played multiple good games at the same time.
Yeah,
have like carried over and over again. I've went back to every Fallout I've ever played.
Yep.
And have cranked thousands of hours into them. Skyrim, the Dark Souls series for me, Monster Hunter series, fucking Pokemon, dude.
A lot of these games
Call
just
of Duty,
aren't
Halo.
like a lot of these games just aren't good enough to need to finish.
I find myself buying games.
We're 15
as of
seconds
recent.
in. We got it.
Well, they're gonna agree
From
with
the
us.
Neighborhood Circle Guy, and today I want to jump into what I believe to be a massive contributor to the problem I just mentioned and spout my
Games are shit.
raving opinions that absolutely
New games are bad.
nobody asked.
Yeah, I think it's just games are shit. Because
Like, they do not make good games anymore.
long
Not nearly
games
as
are
much.
easy. Like Tears of the Kingdom's a brand new game, long as shit, and I've dropped 40 hours into it. But half of these new Pokemon games or fucking the new Call of Duty, 4 or 5 hours in, I'm like, I'm done
New
with this.
Pokemon games, besides multiplayer competitive, which is why I play it, it's fucking. I'm
Trash.
not into it, dude.
There's no way.
It's really not.
Charles, bring me my soapbox.
Yeah, you push that, Charles.
I don't think it is necessarily a good thing for every game to try to have hundreds of hours of gameplay. Okay, let me explain. Lately, I've seen this shift in mainstream gaming, this Hail Mary attempt at a forever game, something with endless content, something you could play infinitely. And I'm not talking about games that can technically be played as long as you want, I'm specifically talking about games with an overabundance of scripted, achievable things, quests, missions, moments, you know, that juicy content. Games like MMOs and certain RPGs aren't really new to this grind.
I need you to slay 1,000 spiders for no reason whatsoever other than to increase playtime.
Ooh, this is exciting. Does this come with a vest?
This is why I don't play MMOs and shit.
Hold. I think the reason why it's just shitty games. I don't have a problem with games having like a longevity of playtime. I prefer live games like that are constantly updated and released
Doc
stuff
said,
for. I
hold
love
on.
those.
Doc said, hold on, $50 for an 11-minute thing. Well, Doc, we make exceptions where we feel like.
Oh, I didn't even realize that, dude.
Listen, if this video ends up being absolute poopy butthole, we'll stop 5 minutes in. If we enjoy it, we'll keep going. But you know we don't enjoy any of the things you try to force us to react to. So you're going to pay for every 5 minutes, sir.
Hold on for it. Maybe we can cut a deal for him. I feel bad now. I didn't even realize it, dude.
For who? For Doc? No, I ain't cutting
For
any
Doc,
deals for
not for
Sweet
it.
Nostalgia.
You wouldn't do
No.
2 instead of 250?
No.
Okay,
Absolutely not.
Well,
Every
Doc,
minute
he's
is
out
misery.
of it, dude. Oh my
Fucking
god.
employment! Now, video game grinding has existed since the birth of at-home game consoles. Older games would increase the difficulty or remove checkpoints as a way to keep the player playing, mostly due to hardware limitations. When your cartridge housed a few megabytes of storage, sometimes kilobytes, it was up to the developer on how to keep you tethered while simultaneously making sure you didn't blaze through the game. It was clever, often bullshit, but an understandable practice. This isn't necessarily what I'm getting at here, but it's the foundation of this fabricated playtime that I want to jump into. It matters knowing this, but being able to differentiate this somewhat necessary archaic version and the new abomination we'd later receive. But sure, I get it. We want our games to last a while. We never—
Let's be realistic. The old version was also an abomination, sir. As someone who grew up on those games, I can tell you the arcade tactics of trying to get you to keep more quarters in the machine, even though the machine didn't have any quarters, you should just let me play the game. Honestly, I think the old way was worse because a lot of these new games, the decent ones, you could just play the linear storyline and be done. Everything else is optional. It's your choice if you want to keep playing these games. The problem are games that are bloated in the main storyline. It's something that happened to the new Far Cry games. Far Cry, after Far Cry 3, the main campaigns became bloated.
Far Cry 3 was so good.
The main campaigns after 3 became bloated with like what felt like side quests constantly.
I
as part
really
of the
liked
main
5
mission.
though.
I did not. You just liked the
I love
characters
that
in
one.
5.
Oh, it
Because
was
you-
super. Yeah,
That's why you liked it.
it was fun.
But that's what I'm talking about. A game that's bloated, but it's the same thing over and over and over again, and you have to do it to beat it. That's a problem. But good games are games that are giant, but the linear story, like we talked about it in the Fallout games or in Zelda, you could beat the game reasonably fast for an RPG, but then you could just keep sinking in more hours.
That's
'cause
what
it's
I'm
good
saying. I like
content.
games like that.
Yeah,
I like
that's
Elden
good.
Ring. I like Elden Ring. I can go
it's-
finish it right away, or I could just
Yeah.
fucking go off for like thousands of hours.
I did a
just
couple
doing
of
whatever.
playthroughs on Elden Ring. It was fun.
Like those are game because they're good games.
Yeah.
But when you hand me a piece of shit, I don't give a fuck what the playtime.
I'm just
is
not even
on
going to
it.
play through it at all. Like,
I'm just
we're
fucking-
not doing that.
That's why I don't even buy that many games anymore. I used to buy them all the time, and then I'd be like, "Well, I just spent money on this.
But
Now
what
I'm gonna
he's,
fucking
but
play
I
this."
think
But
what this video is talking about are these games that are like bloated with content to keep you playing. But most of those games that people actually keep
they
playing,
want to play.
They want to play it. So why
Yeah.
wouldn't you give them content? I don't get the point so far that's trying to be made here.
Me either.
Because I'm like, if it's a good game, don't you want unlimited content in that good game? Like I was already talking about, I'm 40 hours into Tears of the Kingdom, barely scratched the surface. I'm already talking about wanting DLC for it because I'm going to want more content in it because
Yep.
I like the world that's developed. I like the that's a good thing, not a bad thing. I feel like
I agree.
the only distinction here is some games are shitty and they don't deserve any content. I'm trying to figure out.
Live games are fun to me. Like
What I'm trying to figure out is what is this in-between game he's talking about? That it's a game that, man, this would have been good if it didn't have so much content. What game is that?
I've never played anything that I've been like, it's either good or it's not good, and if it's good, I'll invest time into
Like
it.
the
because
closest thing
enjoy
I
it.
could think of is the Far Cry series, but those like after 3, but those weren't great games. That's why it's like, that's why you didn't want to play the content. Like if they were good, like the earlier editions, you would have wanted the content, but since they weren't, it got teased.
So I assume he's talking about single.
He's talking about single player games, but I'm just like, what is the game that it was a good game? If it was, I'm so confused as to what. Anyway, let's see what he.
I'm
if
just
it makes
thinking of
sense.
games like Fallout, Skyrim, like non-live
want
games.
Fun experiences to end, and on top of that, we also want some bang for our buck. Nothing feels worse than being hyped for a game for months just to have it last a few hours. But I got some issues with how every single goddamn game is expected to last forever now. Live service games drip feeding their players with season after season of updates, reuse
That's
content,
awesome.
weird time-consuming
what's wrong
systems
with
where
that?
they don't need to be, crafting,
Bro,
literally.
you're weird. I don't like this guy.
Why would you
Fortnite's
not
so
like
successful
that?
is because they're listening.
Dude, you know what I love about Fortnite? Is I will not play it for 6 months, pick it back up, and it's a totally different game in all the best ways, but it's still the same game.
Exactly.
Like that's
and
great.
to the people who consistently play through it, you
It's
got new
always
shit all the
fresh.
fucking time.
I don't.
Games like that are dope. That's why I like
don't-
playing
what
Brawlhalla
is the
so much. They
complaint here?
constantly are giving me shit.
What the fuck is the complaint here? Like, where is
Bruh.
what I want to see is the example of a game.
I thought it was single players. This motherfucker just went down a completely different road.
Like,
I was scared he was gonna go down here. Bro, you're on crack.
What is the game where it's like, man, this game would be good if only they stopped making good content? Like, what?
Oh, dude, this live multiplayer game with my friends and that has a shit ton of fucking people who play daily.
You know
they
what
just
would
keep
make it
giving
better?
us content.
You know what would make it better, Todd? If it would just be
What,
the
dude?
same exact game like GoldenEye was on N64.
Oh,
and
so
it
then
never
we
changes.
stop playing it. So it's
that
not
would
a
be
bang
so
for
much
our buck.
better. What
bang
the fuck
for your
is this
buck.
dude talking about?
If they're putting paywalls on shit constantly, which I don't really think games do
That'd be
that.
awful.
Unless it's like fucking Rainbow Six Siege and
No,
you
most
fucking
of them
idiots
aren't
want to pay
doing that, though.
$30 every fucking.
Bro, I've never paid a dime into Fortnite my whole life.
Oh,
Not
man.
once paid for that game. I probably
you
owe
could-
that game money. How
You
much?
buy the first battle pass, you could pay for every fucking battle pass they ever
I got a
released
free
beyond that.
battle pass when it came out. And
And
I've been
then you're
able to
good
get the
forever now.
battle passes from playing if I wanted to. I owe Fortnite money. I have played so many hours of that game and never given them a dime. I am in debt to that game.
Even games that I've spent money on to like get DLC, etc. Like I've bought all the fucking Fallout DLC, and that's not even like a live game. But in terms of live games, why would you not? If
What
you're
is
having
this
fun
gripe?
with it, spend
What
money
is the
on
gripe
it. dude.
here? This dude's got to vote Republican. This is
Bro,
this is conservative mindset. Like this is the most anti-change mindset. Like I want the game to be the same. There's too this dude listens to Tom McDonald.
I got you that way. dude. Here's my thing that really just pisses me off.
Grinds your gears.
This dude is mad that there's updates to games.
Yeah.
Like I do not
Most of the time
understand
free updates.
how you even look. If you are upset about a money thing, oh wow, that's $10 for a battle pass. Listen, you fucking fat bitch, don't spend all that money on fast food that week. Do you drink? Don't buy alcohol. Do you fucking maybe skip a can of chew or a pack of cigarettes or whatever?
Because if you're playing the game and they're giving you new
get it forever.
content,
You are getting it is a forever game. You are literally
Jesus. All right,
paying.
let's
paying
see.
60. Oh my god!
Maybe he'll start making sense. Maybe he'll start making sense.
No, he's not.
Crafting!
Thank you for
If you pay
the
$60 for a game and then they just keep
Rant
adding on
says
to
only-
shit, you are
hold on,
making
hold
money.
on. Rant says only games I can think he's talking about are Destiny and Avengers. He put Halo Infinite on the screen, even though Halo Infinite is notorious for not having enough content.
Bro, you don't have to pay.
Dude, why
to
is
play.
this?
And
Okay,
if you
I thought
choose
this
to,
was
it's
old.
acceptable.
This is only a month ago. I thought it was old because he put Halo Infinite as an example. Halo Infinite notoriously doesn't have enough content. How are you putting that as an example on the screen?
Maybe because it's like for skins and shit. I don't. But even then, that's
No,
a buy as
bro,
you please.
Nah. I haven't paid for Halo Infinite $0 because I have Game Pass.
Bro,
Never paid for
paying
that
money
game.
on game. I don't. I shame people who spend thousands of dollars on cosmetics. I think that's crazy.
But spending $10
But-
on a battle pass of a game that you've dropped hundreds of hours into,
Exactly.
That
And
makes
the games
sense.
that you are making the longevity of a game is important because you are absolutely getting a bang for your buck. You are getting a bang for your buck. If I spend $60, I spent $30 on a game called Sea of Thieves. They have updated that game to fucking incredible heights, dude.
yeah.
Worth more than 30. Tell you that much, dude.
All right.
Scenes, quit
Maybe he's going
fucking
somewhere.
Crafting! God! And this isn't even the end of it. Even before updates and additional content post-launch, every game is expected to also release with enough content to keep you busy until you're fucking dead. Some of you may think, well, isn't it good to strive for more rather than to settle for less? And that would be the case if it weren't for the glaring fact that this current time-sucking content hellscape is lowering the quality of games across the board consistently. Not only do so many games try to promise this unobtainable content paradise, but nearly all of them
I
fail
think
when
this
they
dude's
do.
a fucking
Content gets
retard
rushed,
who just
recycled.
buys every game he fucking sees.
Yeah, bro.
Don't
I
buy.
just don't buy
Look
these
at reviews.
games.
Look at reviews. Watch people play games. You want to know why I got the new Outlast? Because I was like, oh, it's $30, and I love the Outlast series. But let me make sure. Let me watch people play this real quick
Bro.
to see if it's good enough. And then I was like, wow, I fuck with this. I bought it, and I got 30 hours in. And it
The
just
only
came
game
out, dude.
in recent memory that bit me in the ass was Cyberpunk, because I just didn't think there was a way that
That could
CD
be bad.
Projekt Red would be bad.
Yeah.
Right? Their track record was immaculate. They were working with Keanu Reeves. All of us got the wool pulled over our eyes on that one. All right.
Here is the thing now. Apparently, the game is now playable and fucking amazing.
Yeah, I still wouldn't want to play it because I didn't like the actual game, because it was way too slow paced.
To the people who would enjoy it, though, there you go.
No, it's something now. But the thing is, it's just like, yeah, there's a lot of shitty games right now. You know that's always been the case in gaming, that there's always been really shitty games. I think that there's less great games right now because that competition's not the same. I agree with that. But I don't think it's because of the content wars. It's because of lazy development and fucking microtransactions and trying to find the ways to make money on these things. I get it, but it's not, I don't think this is the real root cause of the problem in gaming. The problems in modern gaming, the lazy development cycles, the rushed products, the we'll patch it later mindset, I don't think that that's like the root cause of that is this quantity over quality thing where it's because these games are too big. No, it's because these
They're just shit. They're just
studios,
dumb.
it's because these studios want low budget, high yield, like Angry Birds. That's what the studios want. They want the next Angry Birds, low budget, high yield. So the bottom line is they want more microtransactions and more of this shit and more money with less effort. It's not that they're putting so much effort into all of this content that now all the content's worse. No. It's that the entire principle of the people paying money to get these games developed, the people that have the bankroll to greenlight a game, say, we want you to make this game cheap, we want you to make it fast, and we want there to be a lot of money that comes out of it. So unless you're working with Nintendo Studios or Sony or one of the studios that actually cares about the product as a product because of their reputation, then you're going to have to churn and burn out a broken game for money. But it has nothing to do with the fact that all these games just have so much content that they're so busy making all this content.
Thank you for the tip.
Rants, shut up! That they're so busy making all this content that now they don't have time to make good games. That's not what's happening. It is not that they're so busy making all of this content because everyone needs content that they don't have time to make good games. It's because the people funding the fucking games do not have a priority to make good games. Their priority is to get games out quickly that could give them Angry Birds money with insane yields. This dude's got the wrong fucking problem.
If I'm playing a good game and they continuously pump out content for it, that will just increase the size of my boner. That's
Exactly.
That's all. I don't understand. And I see that it says Fallout 76 had a fucking disgusting, awful launch.
Apparently it's good now.
However, they have... Oh, I
Thank
fucking
you
put in like
for
100
the
hours into it. It is a great game now.
Shut
They've
up,
updated a lot of it. I actually think I think they could have a comeback. And I think, like... Destiny 2 has like fucking millions of people playing.
And it was
Why?
shit
They kept
forever.
putting shit out. They
Yeah.
kept putting shit out.
Well, it does give developers that care about their game a chance to give it second life. Because
Yeah.
if they can make enough money from their shit game and they had a vision for it, then they could put that back into their game without the person who bankrolled the project in the first place getting mad at them, right? But but all this to say, there's a lot of problems in the landscapes of modern gaming and a lot of shitty games, but it has literally nothing to do with this idea
With lots of content.
of exactly. That is not the problem.
This guy sucks.
The
dude.
problem is not making too much content and they're like, oh, we're spread so thin making all this content, we can't make a good game. No, it's because the people who are funding this want you to churn and burn. They want you to make a cheap game that makes a lot of money. They want to re-release the same game every year with a new skin to make a lot of money. That's the problem.
Let's keep hearing this shit. I really am
Or even
excited.
cut
to
and
see.
resold later on at an additional cost. A finished game filled with a ton of content and post-launch content on the way being developed during a spike in crunch culture is the single worst recipe an evil witch could brew up in her comically large evil cauldron.
That's correct, but that's not what you were saying earlier. That's not what your premise of the video is. The hidden costs of long play times. What you just said there about the crunch time development and the bullshit churning is correct. But what you think is leading to that couldn't be further from correct.
This motherfucker.
Master? Infinite Radiant Quest!
So what exactly is content? Nowadays, games want to be a buffet of content, where not really much of it is that great, but oh wow,
Thank
holy
you
shit, there's
for
so much
the
here. They even got that weird-ass dumpling with old meat in it. Sometimes
Freeman.
they'll even add to it and drip feed paid content like battle passes, and other times they'll have seasonal
Oh,
events meant to weaponize
fuck
FOMO.
off.
I know this argument has
You're
been made about
fucking
DLC
lame,
and
dude.
pre-order expansion passes and stuff, but I think the real issue here has been brushed under the rug, and that's the fact that more games today are attempting to steal your attention forever, and almost no game can do that through quality. Far Cry 6, Dying Light 2, Ghostwire Tokyo, Horizon Forbidden West, Watch Dogs Legion, Days Gone,
Thank
Outriders,
you
Biomutant,
for
Gotham
the
Knights.
tip!
Todd's My Ho donated $10. I'm guessing that's rants.
Bro,
I need to rewind this and hear all this slander.
I heard it,
Do that
and
through
he's
quality.
fucking
Far
just
Cry
lame.
6,
This guy
Dying Light
sucks.
2, Ghostwire Tokyo, Horizon Forbidden West, Watch Dogs Legion, Days Gone, Outriders, Biomutant, Gotham Knights, basically every single Assassin's Creed game ever made, and especially Death Stranding. You know what all of these games have in
Biomutant
common? The
was
fact that if
dope.
you removed half of the content, you'd only be improving the final product. If your game supposedly has a wealth of amazing
So that's what I was talking about. I mentioned the Far Cry series as one of the few games that was like, this game doesn't have any content.
Thank you
So it's
for
too long.
the
Well,
Squeaker
he's
tip!
saying Squeaker Dude. He's saying remove.
No, but what I was just saying is, yeah, some of these games, like Far Cry 6, would have been a decent game if it was shorter. But what that really shows me is that it wasn't that good of a game. It was a game with a very quick gimmick. So sure, you could make all of those games shorter and they're better games. I guess. They're not good games, but they're better because they weren't a good game to begin with. That's why it couldn't be long. But how does that solve the problem in gaming? Because
It doesn't.
It's not like, because here's the thing. A good game that's short, do you know what it has? If it's
An
genuinely
amazing
good,
story. It's captivating.
No, there's a key word here. If it's a genuinely good game and it's short, there will be something true of it.
Authenticity.
Replay value.
Oh, replayability. Yeah. that's true.
You will want to replay a game that is good and short. Far Cry 6, if it was short, it would have no replay value anyway. It'd leave a better taste in your mouth. Right? You'd be like, well, at least, it was quick, it was fun, it was over. I agree with him there. You cut that game in half, and Far Cry 6 is a better game. But is it a good game? No. Would you ever want to replay it again just because it was short? No.
Nope.
If you want the king of short games that are good, look at things like 2D platformers like Super Mario.
His shit's just all over the place.
Super
Dude, he was
Mario-
shitting on live updated games.
Super
Like, that makes
Mario
no
is
sense.
a great series, and none of those games are very long. But you want to play them again. That's the whole point.
Hollow Knight's amazing, Squeakerton.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Replay value. But these games that he's listing, that the problem with them is that they're too long and have too much content. No, the reason they're too long is because they're not good enough to be long. And if you made them shorter, they would be better games, but you would still never replay them. They would still not
You know
be
what I
good
hate?
games.
I hate playing a really good game and it's too short.
Yeah. And you wouldn't feel that way with these
I
games.
want a lot of time.
Like again, Far Cry 6, half the length. Yep, it's better, but it's not a good game anymore. It's still not a good
Exactly.
game. It's just a shorter bad game, so it doesn't feel as bad.
The way he's saying it is if all games should not be long. Which
He's saying if all
fuck
these games
yourself.
were shorter, all of a sudden they would be great
No.
games. That's not how this fucking works.
And when
like-
it comes to live updated games, which you had a gripe about earlier, that is a reason why so many of these games are fucking successful.
This-
If that's being like, oh, here's all these players in Smash Bros, let's not add any new people you could play as.
Yeah.
No. Why? It keeps people wanting to fucking play. It keeps you looking forward to something.
I keep thinking that this guy's gonna go somewhere smart, but then like, because this point that he's making here was the one earlier in the video. I was like, what are you saying? Like, what games are just randomly good now because they're shorter? Like, yes, better, but that's just a reflection of the game wasn't that fucking good.
I played a Pokemon knockoff called Nexomon, and my gripe was after 30 hours in it, I was like, I wish that this game was longer, or I wish that there was I would like to I want to battle motherfuckers in this game. That's like, I don't understand why people want to invest time to be like, all right, moving on to the next one. That's actually how you waste more money, is continuously playing short games and buying more.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
That's real dumb.
Having a game with longevity keeps you on one fucking game.
And
if
spending it's
a
better
bit
as
on
a
it,
consumer, and it's better for the developers because they can put more time and resources into one game to make it better.
That's
or
like,
one franchise to make it better.
It's buying an oven versus buying fast food consistently all the time.
This dude eats McDonald's.
And he's buying fast food all the time. He's no oven.
I want to see them. Why would you hide them behind walls of garbage filler? And of course I don't expect every game to blow my mind every 10 milliseconds like a toddler with short-term memory loss. That's not the issue. And dude, I understand online multiplayer and single-player games have vastly different expectations and common features, but I'm conflating
You bitched about them both.
because this issue is prevalent in both. What I'm getting at is...
There it is.
One day I will be dead. One day I will be cuddled up with the worms and moles of the world, but before that...
I think this dude just needs to come to the realization that he doesn't want to play video games.
Yeah.
He feels like he's wasting his time on video games, and he wants games to be short so he can feel like he experiences video games without having to commit to them.
I want to know how much money this dude has spent on games.
This dude wants to read short stories instead of novels.
Yeah.
And if you want to read short stories instead of novels, that's fine. But why would you then start to insult novels? There's nothing wrong with novels just because you prefer short stories. That doesn't make novels flawed. And if we're to say a lot of shitty novels are coming out, I agree with you. But the reason shitty novels are coming out isn't because there aren't enough short stories. Like, these two things aren't linked, you fucking dingus.
I hate this video so much, and this guy bugs me.
Day comes, I will be enjoying video games as much as I can. And when I have to balance my work, social life, sleep, and other stuff with video games, that leaves me with an extremely small sliver of time for those games. And when I expand that inner sliver, you're gonna see I don't have a lot of time to fuck around doing nothing in them! And that's coming from a dude where
make better fucking time. Not every
play better
that's
games.
Like, well, okay, Mr. Guy, the fucking world revolves around you, cocksucker ass bitch. What about people who have no fucking social life, who like being reclusive, who maybe work from home, who have a different type of fucking lifestyle? Maybe they want to fucking play a longer game. No, they're not allowed to have
entertainment, Todd!
You know what's actually better for the company? To have a game with longevity that consistently pumps out content. They make money on that game.
This guy's acting like developers don't release short games. Like,
yeah,
those
there's
exist.
tons who do.
You're
just fucking Jesus, dude. You're just playing the wrong game. This dude's like, I want to play this MMO so bad, but for all these fucking fucking bearded mouth breathers have 88,000 hours on this game, and I can't compete with them. Guess what? I'll pick another game, stupid.
Like,
shit.
Bro, play something else. I have games that I pick up if I want a short game. Like, the game I told you to play, that the Two Brothers game, is a 3-hour game.
Exactly.
Like,
but this guy's like, no,
but everyone said, but Todd, everyone said the new Zelda was really fun. I want to play the new Zelda, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on the new Zelda. So the new Zelda's bad because it makes me take too much time, and I want to play it, but I want to take like, shut up.
Not yet, Squeakerton. Yeah, it's fucking
annoying. It's even worse for everyone else. There is
sucks.
so much fluff, filling, padding, and stuffing in modern video games, and the longer a game's average playtime gets, the more you're gonna find it. Waiting to make something, forced long travel, backtracking, randomly imposed roadblocks that only exist to increase game length. As a kid, these things are awesome.
Yeah, it's a fucking mission, bitch! You have a quest, go do it! That's every game, dude! Oh my god!
And yes, guess what? Better games make every part of the mission more fun. And so when you find a game that's tedious, do you know what you do? You stop playing it.
This guy's like, oh my god, they set off a roadblock. I can't go beat the game immediately. Yeah, dude, they're extending it. What up, Voltage? What up, baby? What up, dog? They can't extend it. Why? Or they are extending it. Why? It's making it more fun for the consumer, dude. Having a fucking challenge. This dude would kill himself.
Jesus. Like, what does he want? I get it. Some games are bloated. Those are usually bad games. And then you don't play them like the list he gave, the Assassin's Creed games, the newer Far Cry's. Yeah, those games suck.
But look how fucking successful
But if they were
short,
but
there are consumers
But also,
who
here's the thing. If they were short, they wouldn't suddenly be good. Like, that's
those
not...
games are not for me.
I know, but some people like it. But I'm just saying, if they were randomly short, that wouldn't make them just good games all of a sudden.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed,
Because you have all the time
I'm
in the
not a
world,
fan of,
Yeah,
but I'm
playing
aware
that
that there are a lot
almost nothing done. I
people
feel
who
like a
like
damn
Assassin's
stooge. Nowadays, someone will recommend me a game like,
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's only about 6 hours long, but
what did you just say?
it's about 6 hours long?
You don't know how much I needed to hear that.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Why
Because
why
it's
would you
gold.
buy a
It's actually
fucking
attainable. Jumping
no
back to
game
that
is going to be under like fucking at least $15 to $20. And that, dude, a 6-hour story, you just don't play a video game. That's so fucking short.
Like,
it's
6
insane.
hours, I have to know that it's like an amazing game. Or that it
It
has
better
good
be
replay
fucking
value.
insane.
It better be really good or have really good replay value. Like, I'll probably get through the Mortal Kombat campaign in 6 hours, but I'm going to be replaying that game. It's a fighting game. Cool, that makes sense.
Fuck me, dude.
All right, we got to see his conclusion because I'm done listening to this dude. Let's see what he thinks a good game should be.
4. In the way this segment hopefully ties a bow around the point I'm making, the vision of every game also needs to find its little bow. Look at him go. Oh, whoa, shit. I firmly believe aimless single-player checklist games are some of the worst games ever made. They don't respect your time, they don't strive for anything meaningful, they're a job with no pay and a boss that demands too much of you. These forever endlessly supported multiplayer games
You're a
always
fucking
rather
cunt.
drag a carrot on a stick than actually make worthwhile gameplay features. There is a
Shut up,
wealth
pussy.
of
You're trash.
Did it ever occur to you that a lot of these games, the checkmark quests are the game, and that's what's fun?
Bro,
Like,
if that's the
what does
case,
this guy think the game is?
this
the
dude just shit
cutscenes?
on Fallout, Skyrim, all the Zelda games. Pretty much every God of War, every fucking game I've ever fucking
Every
played
good
single
game.
player. Like, oh wow.
Yeah, exactly, Squeaker. To the cutscenes are the game to this guy, apparently.
The fucking single player games.
Dude, do you know what a video game is? Like,
all the most successful games
hey Todd,
this dude is complaining about.
I was gonna play this game, but it gave me objectives and missions. Like, that's work.
Yeah,
that's
dude,
like a
you
chore.
might as well just fucking
Bro,
just don't. This video games are not for you, dude.
Like, if all you want to do is play platformers, then just say that. Make
It's
a video
crazy
that says, all I want to do is play platformers. I get it. I know a lot of people that only want to play platforming games. You just want to do something really fun, really quick. That's fine. But it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with all the other games.
Dude, this motherfucker is so fucking lame, dude. I gotta find this. I
I'm
gotta
done.
see these comments, dude.
I'm done. That was already a 30-minute reaction. Your money's worth has been accomplished, dear requester. Who requested that? I hope you weren't hoping we would love it. Buster Sword, if you were hoping that we would love that, Jesus Christ, this dude.
Sorry, Buster.
I could not disagree with someone more than I disagree with this guy. Like,
What is this video called? The hidden
it's Circle
costs.
Tunes HD. Like, Jesus. I mean, it's his thought process, but I don't think this guy likes video games. Is really what it comes down to. I agree that modern gaming sucks, but it's not the reasons that he's talking about that lead to that. That's for sure. Anyway, Todd, you gonna say bye to the YouTube people instead of searching whatever you're searching?
Well, if you're watching this because you're a fan of this guy, you're fucking just a single-digit IQ fucking cocksucker. So I got nothing to say to you, dude. You chew on glass, you fucking dipshit.
God damn it, Todd. I don't co-sign any of that. I just think this dude
Don't
doesn't
die when you do it.
I just
but-
think this dude doesn't like video games as much as he thinks he does, is what I learned from this video.
Let me read this comment.
Buster
I
says
agree.
we did exactly what he wanted, so Buster was clearly expecting this type of a response. All right, guys.
Oh,
We'll
see ya.
you
I thought
later.
you ended.